If you had just 3 points and then overall you finished with 17 points with 14 in the second half, what would you say allowed you to get going more offensively in the second half?
I mean, yeah, our coach, he kept faith in me, and coming out of the second half, we ran a play to get the ball into me and see how it went, and I had the ball, scored it, and then that kind of just piled up, and I was able to keep going back with confidence and just erase that memory of the first half and think of next best action and go out there and just do my thing where I was comfortable with it.
Late in the game, up a few possessions there, you're able to get a few blocks defensively to prevent them from scoring. What would you say you necessarily saw in those possessions to be able to get those blocks?
I mean, yeah, I knew we had the lead and that they were looking for a quick shot and everything. So I know one specifically, Wilkinson caught the ball in the middle of the paint, and I saw him kind of cuff it to spin back. So I knew that he was going to try to get a quick one spinning back, and they needed a quick one. So I just read it and then was able to get up and contest it, and it worked out.
Jordan, for you, I think 2 total points in the first half, and then you end with 17 overall. You also got going in the second half. For you and your teammates, what would you say was allowed this team just kind of get going in the second half compared to the first half?
Really just my teammates believing in me, keeping the faith, like Cam said. Yeah, the first half, they were kind of like denying me, so I was just trying to still impact the game without scoring. And the second half, I got some open looks and I knocked them down.
In the first, could it be either for you in the first half, you were down 36-19, were you struggling to shoot? I think the shooting percentage was 26.3%, and then Kaiser gets that 4-point play. He finally gets a 3 to go. Do you think that kind of boosted the team's energy and allowed the team to get going?
Most definitely. Yeah, Ethan stepped up real big, hit those 3 threes. And that really gave us that jump, that push that we needed. We started out a little slow. They went on their run, and then when he hit those first 2, it was just let's make a run back.
And my last question for you both: this is the first season sweep over South Dakota State since the 2017-18 season. To be able to get this sweep, and then now you are at least a 4 or 5 seed in the tournament. Just how does it feel for you players to do that for the program?
It's awesome. I mean, that's what every team that come here wants to do. It's the state rivals. There's a lot on the line, so it's an amazing feeling to get it done, especially since it's been a while.
Yeah, like Cam said, just rivalry game, in-state rivalry game, everybody's jumped and pumped and ready to play, and just to get this sweep after however many years it was, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, I'll start off with a question for both you guys here. Take me through your mentality on game day, and also take me through what you guys were thinking there and at the half being down by 17 there, or through that first half being down by 17.
I mean, yeah, it's game days in general. You're coming in with a lot of energy and ready to play, but it's even more amplified when you're playing your cross-state rivals and everything. And we beat them at their place, so we knew that they were going to come back and try to get us one back. So we came in with a bunch of energy, ready to play, and through that first half, I got into foul trouble. They get up and get a pretty decent lead and everything, but we just kept in it and kept our head down. And when we started to hit those threes, get those steals, things like that, and it started to pile up, it was a lot of momentum for us, and it helped us big time.
Oh, just like him said, we're pumped up to play, just really locked in on game days before the game, just really locked into the scout, just like other players' tendencies. And then when we do get out there, we just got to remember, just lock in and remember what we've been training for all week, what we've been preparing for, and go out there and execute.
I got 2 questions here for you, Cam. This team has been so good at home this season. When you stepped off the floor tonight, so what are you going to remember most from being out there with you guys?
I mean, yeah, the University of South Dakota has been a really special place for me, and I owe it so much. It's helped develop me into the player that I am today. So I'm definitely going to miss just these home games and everything, and the crowd and the small town camaraderie of Vermilion, and I absolutely love it here. And then I'm going to miss my teammates and coaches for sure that have helped me along the way and build me up.
And one last question for you here. Just talk to me a little bit about how much the support from family, friends has meant to you throughout your college career.
It means everything. I'm so blessed. From freshman year to now, even freshman year when I wasn't getting that many minutes at my old school and things, and some games I wouldn't even play, my parents are still making 8-hour drives for away games to come support me and see me before and after the game, and they've just stuck with it. And then here at USD, there's been some big games, and I just look up to the crowd and get to see a swarm of people there for me, home and away, and it's absolutely spectacular, and it is truly a blessing. It means everything to me.
Cam, you went through a season-ending injury last year, and obviously there were so many at this season as this one's gone along. Did you really think, sitting here now at 8-8, maybe looking at the 4th seed? I mean, when all that was happening, did you think this team was going to be able to survive this, and that you could be at this position right now?
It was hard to believe. I mean, we got guys dropping like flies. I dealt with injury last year and everything, but our guys just really stuck to it, and we found a rhythm, and we knew that we had to work with what we got. And I'm really proud of our guys for pulling through and everything. So I feel like it's definitely surprised some of us from those early assumptions when we had guys start dropping, but I'm so proud of this team and everything that we've been able to accomplish.
And Jordan, obviously now you guys head down to Sioux Falls. We'll find out the matchup later tonight when the rest of the league play is done. But I know there was some question about whether, hey, is this team maybe running out of gas considering how much you've dealt with this year? But what's the feeling now as you take this team down to the Summit League tournament? Because you're going to have to win 3 games in a row to obviously in 3 days. What is this team going to have to do to go on that kind of a run?
Really just lock in. We'll find out who we play tonight, and then we'll start preparing for it. Main thing is just go out there and play how we been playing. I feel like when we go out there and play South Dakota basketball, nobody can really play with us.
USD swept SDSU in a season series was 1997. I don't think any of these guys had been born at that point. How's it feel to get this done?
I was a freshman in high school, so it's been a long time. Honestly, just really proud of our seniors. I'll talk about each one of them. Trent, I know he didn't play very much. His minutes have kind of gone down, but he brings such a winning mentality. Came in from Arizona Christian, and they won a lot of games there, and I think he's really affected our team at practice with his mentality, how he prepares. We couldn't have done it without Trent. Silas, man, and the 2 new guys that I'll address first. Silas is plus 26 against Omaha and plus 14. I led our team again tonight, and we talked after the game in the locker room. I let all the seniors speak, and the one thing he said, and he told our guys and our young guys, is like, you're never going to remember how many points you score. You're going to remember some wins. You're going to remember the guys in the locker room, but whatever you can do to impact winning, do it, because that's what you remember in the culture that you created, and he's created such a good culture. Just makes winning plays. Caleb Kaiser never plays. Gave him the Gator belt. The Gator belt goes to the toughest dude. I gave him the Gator belt after the game because he showed up since June, and he was on our scout team and made everybody on our team significantly better, and that's a sign of a true teammate. And then obviously Cam, really happy for Cam to go out like that. Rough first half, and honestly, him getting in foul trouble probably helped us get back in the game, and obviously played much better in the second half. So it's the story of our team. We hit rock bottom right after Christmas. We had a couple guys, and then this game, same thing. We hit rock bottom. We're down 17 points, and they just keep fighting, scratching, clawing, whatever we got to do to get back into it. And I'm really proud of our guys. If you would have said at that point in the season, if we would go 500 in conference, I think a lot of people would have called you crazy. And then we lose Isaac Bruns, and then they would have told you you're really crazy. And credit to our guys and our staff. We have an elite staff to get this done today.
What do you think really turned it around when you were down 17? You kind of mentioned that. I know you hit a couple outside shots, a couple got to the line a little bit. It seemed like really in the second half you guys wanted to make a concerted effort to get inside and got you to the free throw line quite a bit.
Yeah, we played smaller. We had to. Jake had 3 fouls, Cam had 2. Played Ethan at the 5, and they still had their 5-man in. And that's a tough guard with Ethan. And then we subbed Jesse for Vince. And so there's a lot of shooters on the floor. It just opened up so much more space. And then the second piece is my assistant Brandon had the scout, and just we're doubling the post. We had no energy the first 10 minutes of the game, none. And I'm kind of like the first 3 timeouts, like, do I have to bring energy for you guys to play in a game like this at home against South Dakota State? And we start doubling the post, and what happens? Our energy goes up, we get some stops, and then it helps our offense as well. So those 2 things, playing small and then doubling the post, I think really got us going.
You'll find out your seeding later depending on other results throughout the league, but obviously you're in the same position as last year where you're going to have to win 3 games in 3 days. What did you maybe learn from that experience a year ago, and what's it going to take for this group with I mean, if this group could be the first to make the NCAA tournament, that would be probably the perfect capstone.
They need to do a movie if that happens, for sure. Last year was so much different because we were a pressing team. And, you think a lot about it after the season, like, can you press 3 games in 3 days and win it? I still think there's a way you can if you have the depth. And if you look around the country, there's a lot of teams losing players and just freak stuff. South Dakota State had Bubs out. He just walked through the deal. There's a lot going on. So I think it's harder now to find depth and keep people healthy. So I think that's maybe a different experience for me. What I think overall is just the mindset. I thought last year we were so happy we beat NDSU, and you got to move on very, very quickly to prepare for the next game. And we were still thinking about the night before and what happened, and Omaha cracked us. They kicked our butt. And so, yeah, you enjoy it in the locker room, and almost once you leave the Premier Center, you have to move on to the next team because we're going back to the hotel and prepping for another team. So if we get the opportunity again to play 2 games, it'll be much different for us.
I just got one question for you here. So you guys really fought with tenacity during that when you were down 17 there in the first half. But then you got that momentum back. What was the message to your guys at the half?
Yeah, just urgency. You got to fly around and make some stuff happen. I thought we were on our heels. It's like a boxing match. Are you getting punched or are you punching? And we were just getting punched over and over and over. And at some point, you got to fight back. And when we played small, that's when we started fighting back. And obviously, momentum leading into the halftime was huge for us. Making some of those plays, cutting it to 4. I told our staff, like, man, if we can cut it to 8, that's a good thing. And we cut it to 4. And then it's a different feeling in the locker room when you're down 4 versus 15, right? Very, very different. So, we have the guys that can do it. They've showed all year that they can fight. Really, nobody's really blown us out. They just show up and they just keep going. And we were the aggressors in the second half and the last, 6 minutes of the first half.
In the first half, there was a struggle shooting at one point. The shooting percentage was 26.3% with around 7 minutes remaining. And then Kaiser seemed to kind of get the team going by making that big 3 to have a 4-point play. Were you thinking to yourself, it's just a matter of time until someone makes a big shot to get the team going?
Well, I was more thinking we need to keep getting stops, and we'll figure it out on offense. Honestly, we had an extra day of prep. They went Thursday, UMKC, and then here, and I don't even know if they went home or if they stayed along the way. Either way, that's a tough trip, and we were at home. And they had 2 road games. So there's a huge advantage for us. I knew if we stuck with it, at some point, they don't play a lot of guys. At some point, they would wear down. Did I think, 17? Yeah, 17 points is a lot. But you just got to keep chipping away. And Ethan made that big shot for us. And again, we went small. We stretched them out. And, they still had their big in. And it was a huge advantage for us.
And after that 2-game road trip where you lost both games, now you come back, you win both games on this homestand. I'm sure the players are feeling good and confident heading into the Summit League tournament. Just how good do you think it feels for you and the players to be having this positive energy heading into the tournament?
Yeah, I was in a dark spot after Oral Roberts. We missed 11 free throws, had an opportunity to win the game under a minute left, and probably wasn't the best leader of our guys. And we came back, and all we talked about was having positive energy and great body language. And the message was, against Omaha, and we do this every year, we wrote a letter to somebody that's impacted their career in some way, shape, or form. And we're talking about filling each other's cup up or their tank up because it's the end of the season, you're on E. How do you fill somebody, gratitude, be grateful, and then say thank you to people. I thought that really helped us against Omaha. And then today, in their lockers, usually I show clips before we go out to shoot around. Last 2 times I haven't. And we just wrote 3 things that we're grateful for. And, when you fill your own cup up, I think then you can do it to others at an elite level. So, those 2 losses were hard. It was a 2-possession game under 4 minutes against Denver, and they beat us by 20, and we had every opportunity to beat Oral Roberts. And it just shows a lot about our team bouncing back after those 2 road losses to win 2 at home going into the tournament.
It was a balance going offensively in the end as it was against Omaha on Wednesday, and to have 5 players scoring double figures. How positive is it to be able to keep it consistent with a balanced offense like that? Yeah,
most balanced I've seen it in a long time. We made a change to the starting lineup. We put Ethan in there and just thought we needed a spark plug. And Silas has been that spark plug off the bench. Like I said, he was plus 20 whatever, 24 against 21 against Omaha, plus 16, I think he was, plus 14 today. So changing that dynamic a little bit has really helped us, and I knew he could handle it. So yeah, the balance scoring is great. You know, there's games that Cam's not going to play very well or get doubled, so other guys have to be able to step up and make some plays for us. And our starting five did a great job. I know Silas didn't score, but I mean, impacted winning. And then obviously Jesse had a good game for us.
How much momentum can you take from this into next week now?
Yeah, I wish we played in like 3 days. No, I think, you know, you play Omaha, which they were playing very, very well. South Dakota State had won their last two. So you're playing teams with some steam and momentum. And then we beat those teams. Obviously, you got to look at that like a positive, that we can keep it going. Now, I don't know who we're going to play. Matchups are everything. When you get to the NCAA tournament, when you get to the conference tournament, it's all about matchups. I say that all the time, and watch the NCAA tournament. And I mean, I watch a lot of basketball, and I can just go through the bracket and like, that's a bad matchup. So, you know, if we can potentially get the 4 seed, I think that would really help us. But our guys are ready to play anybody, and we have played everybody close. You know, you lose to UND by a point, we have 3 cracks at it at the buzzer, and we miss them all. We miss a free throw under a minute, and NDSU takes us to overtime, and we lose. We're up at halftime against St. Thomas, so not so much worried about that. Just, hey, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep a positive attitude. Let's keep getting better, and that's been the goal all season. Thank you, guys. Go Yards.
Thanks, Coach.